Hey there.
Good, my man. I'm Rome.
What's happening, brother?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. How about you?
Oh, doing well, man. Doing well.
Hey.
Yes, sir, man. Considering the circumstances, we are blessed.
Oh yeah, definitely for
We're
sure, for sure.
blessed, brother. So I'm enjoying it. Like one of my friends said, I can't complain, and it wouldn't help if I did.
Oh, that's right, brother. I know that's right.
So, bro, thank you for first of all, I wanted to thank you for coming on, man, for speaking to the people and for just sharing, just for sharing your time. Thank
Definitely, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
For
Yes,
sure.
sir, brother. So, brother, where is give us an update. Give us an
Mhm.
update on where your head has been at with everything going on. How have you been, have you been staying creative? I know the playbook came out, right?
Yeah,
The
definitely,
palace
definitely.
the palace is open.
Yeah. I see. Okay, okay.
Saying how have you been staying charged up, staying electric and keeping the positive energy alive?
Ah, man. Well, first off, with everything that's going on, man, I hope everyone is safe and healthy as they can be. Because yeah, these circumstances aren't favored right now. But with me, man, I've been good, man. I'm a homebody anyways for the most part, unless I just have to go out.
Hmm.
So I've been at home, and it's actually a an interesting experience because like I tend to be at home all the time when I'm not working, but like now that I'm home against my own will,
Right,
like
it's mandatory.
yeah, it's mandatory. And I kind of feel like, man, I want to go out. I want to be active and everything. But no, it's actually an interesting experience as a
Yeah.
creative because like with creating, I always feel like I'm on the go. When all this wasn't going down, I had to balance a whole bunch of different things, and so
Right.
now I have 100% time to create, and I'm learning that the more I create, the more I learn new things, new
Yeah.
techniques. Just like Dragon Ball Z or something.
Yes.
Reaching a new level of Super Saiyan.
Yes.
So yeah, man, the creative experience has been good, brother. It's been really good to me, and so yeah.
Awesome, bro. I love that comparison, man. Like now we get to really like, this is like when they say if you can't go out, go in,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this
Exactly.
is our own in a way you're in the back in the hyperbolic time chamber,
Exactly.
training again, like really unleashing those creative powers within you and just leveling up.
Exactly,
Leveling up,
sir. Exactly. Exactly.
I
Yeah,
can
man.
I can see your power level rising, bro. I got the scouter. I can see it right.
It's the green tea, brother. It's the green tea. Man. But yeah, man, I just, been trying to stay healthy, man, and hopefully the same with you as well, brother. Like, I don't want anyone to fall ill on any type of circumstance. So yeah.
Right, bro. On the subject of staying healthy,
Hmm.
it's so ironic to me. We're told, of course, we're told to stay inside,
Yeah.
stay safe,
Yeah.
stay alive. Just stay closed in these spaces. But
Hmm.
for me, just speaking on my own experience, I've
Hmm.
actually seen a lot of success by doing the opposite, by
Really?
getting outside, like by being in the open, fresh air, by being in the sun,
Yeah.
and just, going into nature every single day. Like right after this, I'm about to hit my nature trail,
Yeah.
and just
That's good.
like, I'm fortunate that even though all these businesses are closed down, all the parks are closed down, everything's closed,
Hmm.
I'm still fortunate that it's not, a complete reinforced, like an enforced lockdown where people
Hmm.
are looking at us and telling us to get back inside. Like people are, still able to at least walk outside. So I know that the situation for me, at least here in California, could be much, much worse.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Much, much worse. So I'm counting many blessings.
Nah, that's good, man. I mean, as long as you're getting your social distance on, that's completely dope, bro. Like it's always good to like go out in nature, man. That's how you recharge. You feel me? So
Hmm. That's how we charge it, bro. You said it, man. There was a kid the other day on his bicycle.
yeah.
He couldn't have been more than like 5 or 6, and he told me he was like 6 feet. He was like
Hey, he's doing the right thing.
he was like his his mom was back there, and he was like looking at me like 6 feet, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm imagining, just reflecting on that moment. Of course I can have a laugh now, but I'm thinking, he's he's actually growing up into the COVID, like the COVID era is something he's growing up knowing.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm imagining, like, what is being instilled in this child? Like, what is he learning?
Mm-hmm.
About this whole social distancing. I was just talking with Jordan, and I remember when 9/11 happened, when the Twin Towers were hit. We watched it on TV at school. They played it in the classroom, and everybody was silent.
Mm-hmm.
The whole school was just silent. So I can only imagine for the next generation the kind of impact on the youth going through this.
Yeah, man. I remember it's kind of similar circumstances, and in 9/11 when that happened, man, I remember being in school and teachers were crying, and then it was just like you said, it was a complete silence at first. Nobody believed
Right.
it was true or nobody knew
Right.
the details.
Hmm.
But I know like after that, the following weeks, they did indeed close schools and because they were afraid of like acts of terrorism and stuff like that. Excuse me. But yeah, man, it's interesting times, man. I've never seen anything like this. Like 9/11 was its own case, but this time, you got whole jobs that are closing, and
Right. Whole
that.
businesses. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hmm.
And like
And
man,
yeah.
oh,
Go,
go ahead,
go
brother.
ahead.
Yeah, man, it's just like I said, going back to the health thing, bro. It's like you never know. It's like a silent, it's a silent attack. So it's like because me personally, I have allergies and everything, and so it's like, oh man, like if I sneeze one time, it's like, ooh, I gotta, I gotta make sure I'm good.
Hmm. Hmm. And I also think it's interesting. It's a wonderful time to breathe.
Yeah.
That we're able to, because there's always a time for inhalation and exhalation.
Mm-hmm.
There are ups, there are downs, there's ebb and flow.
Yeah.
The sun goes up, the sun come down. So like when we're able to breathe, when we have a moment of breath, especially, also the earth has a moment to breathe right now without everybody, out everywhere, on the level, on the scale that they were.
Yeah.
The earth
Sure.
has a moment to cleanse itself and breathe. But I do, to my understanding, I haven't been watching the news and everything like that, but to my understanding, it's like a respiratory thing. It attacks the lungs or the respiratory system, so it makes it very hard for us to breathe.
Yeah. Indeed.
So I think it's even more important now, more than ever, to really just be grateful for the breath and appreciate just the breath
I agree.
itself.
I agree 100%, man.
Yeah.
A lot of things that are happening now, we kind of um, took advantage of in the past, man. But it's just like, we don't, acknowledge the things like, dang, we wake up not, and I'm not talking about just material things, but
Mhm.
things we do have when we wake up, like our breath, man, like our good health.
Right.
And there's some people that are unfortunate and not able to have that, and it's just, yeah, man, it's a reality check,
Yeah. Totally reality check. And I like how you said, things we took advantage of or things that we took for granted. It's almost as if the scales were tipped so far off, you know, this way, and we got comfortable with the scales tipped, but had no idea that we were doing things that now it's like the counterweight has come, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like Earth has said, okay, I'm going to show you now, and now it's like that counterbalance has tipped the scales back, and
Yeah,
we're experiencing something where it's like, you know what I mean?
yeah, man. The earth is saying, I want to fight y'all's asses back. Like, can't be mad, man. Hey, we trying to run his fade.
You're not gonna do me like this.
Yeah, man. About time Mother Nature ran the fade. You feel me?
Oh man, hashtag Mother Nature ran the fade.
Yeah, man.
Oh my gosh,
She got you.
bro. So they're like, you didn't believe me. Now I gotta show you.
Yeah, for
I
real, man.
gotta show you. Now I gotta, put the money where.
Yeah, man. It's unfortunate, man, but hey, you can't be mad at it.
Right. And it's the thing too. when you think about a pathogen, right? And I'm always trying to find the silver lining and put a positive spin on something. We're
Mm-hmm.
not making light. We're not making light of the situation. We understand that this is like, it's serious. You
Yeah, no,
know, like
sure.
it's serious. But I'm thinking about a pathogen or a virus or something. Life wants to live, right? Life
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to die. So when something that's not, you know, it, human in nature, when something like this, it was surviving on its own somewhere else, right? Maybe in the
Mm-hmm.
animal kingdom or something. It was doing its own thing and it wasn't harming on the scale because it's not compatible with us,
Yeah.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
now that it's latched onto us, it just wants to live.
Mm-hmm.
It just wants to host to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's almost as if like
Like
you
the
know
movie Venom.
say it again.
It's like the movie Venom.
A symbiote.
Yeah.
Yeah, symbiote. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And it's like until we have found a way to work together, like a lot of um, unfortunate things. It's like yeah, but what gives me hope and what always inspires me is knowing that behind everything, the truth is always hidden in plain sight.
Mm-hmm.
So if we think that things are always in balance, if
Mm-hmm.
chaos and pandemonium is all at an all-time high,
Mm-hmm.
then what must be good happening beyond the veil that we're not aware of? Like, you know what I mean? There's
Mm-hmm.
something positive happening that we're not paying attention to while we're focused on the negative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that positive is like you were saying, man. The earth is like re-cleansing itself, man. The less people that are out, the less pollution.
Yeah.
Waters are clear now, and so that's definitely a positive. But then it's unfortunate, that people have to go through certain health crises to, let this happen. But there's always a catch-22 to something.
Right, right. Whenever something is taken, something is given. Whenever something is given, something is taken away. It's like of equal measure. It's always like, yeah, it's never something for nothing. You
Yeah,
know, is
yeah,
there's a price to be paid. Just like with fame,
mm,
just like with anything else, it's like there's a price to be paid for that.
yeah.
So wow, it's really interesting times. And what surprised you? What surprised? Because I've been talking to my folks in San Antonio, and my mom she finally seen lines outside of HEB with people standing in line to
Yeah,
go
man. I had to stand outside in a line maybe like a couple of days ago for like an hour and 30 minutes. So I was
to
like,
get
shit.
to the grocery store.
Yeah, man.
Wow,
And then
wow.
first time I seen toilet paper like $20. It's like, man, what's going on right now?
Oh my gosh. And then there's also people, because in the midst of every crisis there's opportunity. So it's like there's people hustling in the middle of this, like they racked up on hand sanitizer and they were selling it, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or selling toilet paper. So I've heard of all sorts of things, but what was another thing that really just surprised you or made you say, whoa, like really, we doing that now?
Ah, man. There was nothing that, excuse me, there's nothing that really just surprised me because when everything first started breaking out,
Mm-hmm.
um, I kind of start paying attention to everything, even if it's in a different country and like watching things like BBC and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw it coming. Um, but once they started putting these lockdowns in effect, I was like, okay, this is serious. And
Mm-hmm.
then, like you said, with the HEB lines and the grocery store lines, it's like, okay, that's pretty serious.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing, okay, yeah, one thing that did get me was
Uh-huh.
how people's jobs were getting affected.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that on such a large scale. Like as
Mm.
far as so many people filing on unemployment and then just losing their jobs altogether, man. Like I
Right.
wasn't expecting that at all, and that sucks.
Right, that really does. No, yeah, nobody was. Yeah, a whole lot of people were not prepared for that one. So
Yeah,
you can, even my mom. I mean, she's got her limousine business in San Antonio, so it's like I'm praying for that. It's like,
yeah,
how can you endure through these hard times? Because people aren't really going to the airport like that, so it's not necessary. So, it's crazy. The airport tickets were like $16. My friend got an airport ticket from New York to South Carolina for $16.
yeah, man. That's when everything first broke out, man. We should have saw the signs then.
Right, Right. So, you know what? On a positive note, you were
Hmm.
talking in the beginning about your creativity coming out. How have you
Yeah.
allowed this to allow you to flourish, to blossom and bloom even more with AQ and your vision for your artistry?
Oh man, this gave me more time to watch Pornhub. Uh,
This guy.
uh,
What am I gonna do with this guy?
I mean, hey, I recommend it. But aside from that, man, nah, like I said, it just gives me more time to really hone in on my craft. You know, like when you're on the go all the time, like before, like I said, before all this broke out, I was always on the go. I was always, because I do so many different things.
Yeah.
And so when I did have time to like sit down and create, it was like, okay, boom, this is done. Boom, this is done. Boom, this is done. It's kind of like rushing through it. But
Yeah.
now I get to like, sit down and be meticulous and,
Yeah.
surgical with everything because I have all the time in the world now. So
Hmm.
until all this is over, um, but yeah, it's just the interesting experience now that I can be detailed because some things that I would have like passed along that I would rush through. Now I'm like, man, I don't know. Maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to this. Maybe I need to pay a little bit more detail to this. Maybe I need to flesh this out a little bit more. Maybe I need to rehash this all together. So
Hmm.
that's dope. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Being able to take my time with different creative things I do.
Bro, I love what you just said. You said, I have all the time in the world,
Hmm.
right? You
Hmm.
know, we're told these things. We're told tomorrow is not promised,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
We're told life is short. You know,
Hmm.
we understand these things that we're told, but we also we also know that we have all the time in the world. Like all the time that there is, we have.
Hmm.
Even if we don't know the future, even if we don't know what's to be expected of us, even if we don't know what may happen tomorrow,
Hmm.
today, like right now in
You
this
can
moment,
really live in the moment.
yeah,
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 that's one thing I did notice with with everything that's going on. I can actually live in the moment now,
yeah,
and I think that's why a lot of people like I'll go up and down social media and everything, and like a lot of people have not are not used to this. You know, it's kind of like fear in the unknown. A lot of people aren't used to having this much time to themselves,
right.
so it kind of freaks them out. But it's a good thing when you learn how to harness it. So
Hmm.
being
Hmm.
alone with your thoughts and everything.
When you learn how to harness it, there was a man named Blaise Pascal, and he said a quote that I'll never forget. He said, "All of humanity's problems
Hmm.
lie in all of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit by himself in a room alone."
Hey, that's real.
Right?
That's
Like
real.
our inability to be alone with ourselves, he
Hmm.
said, stemmed from all of our problems stem from that, you
Hmm.
know?
That's true.
So, yeah, you know?
That's true. I mean, like, prosper in life, you have to know how to be alone,
Hmm.
in order to overcome certain things. And so, yeah, I mean, once you learn how to, like I said, once you learn how to harness that, it's easy to move forward in certain situations, man. Even the toughest situations. Once you learn how to be alone with your thoughts, you can overcome pretty much anything, bro.
Right, right. Because who could be against you if there is no enemy within, there can be no enemy without, right?
Hmm.
You know, it's
Exactly.
like everywhere we go, there we are, you
Exactly.
know?
Exactly.
So we spend the most time with ourselves, we talk to ourselves the most, but it's so surprising how few of us, often it may seem, really we don't know a lot about ourselves. It's like we haven't really taken the time, like you said, we have all the time in the world, but we
Hmm.
haven't taken the time to really get to know ourselves. And it sounds strange to say because you're inside your vehicle, your body, like this vessel that we're in, we inhabit this body. But it's like, do we really know ourselves like that? You know? Or it's like
We really
or
don't.
have we been escaping, ourselves? Now
That's
we
true.
have to
Yeah, we
face
have.
ourselves. Yeah.
I feel we have. I feel a lot of us have. I mean, I don't feel like you can fully learn yourself in this lifetime. Honestly, in your lifetime, you will not figure out who you completely are, and
Hmm.
that's okay. I mean, that
Right.
happens, but you can get close.
Right, right, right. You get close, and that's fascinating to me. That the journey, that there is no end destination. That it's lifelong. You know, this learning is something you can always be a student for the rest of your life. You
Hmm.
can always be learning. So there's never a point where I'm going to be like, I have arrived or I know all there is to know, you know, because I can constantly be learning for my entire life. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the fun thing, man.
Yeah.
You know, a life of repetition is cool to an extent, but when you open up your mind to doing different things, it's just a learning experience. That's the fun part of life, trying new things, just cutting off the safety net, taking that dive. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that
The,
you could do that with being alone, man. Like
right.
attacking certain thoughts that you were trying to, push aside, or certain
Right.
conflicts that you had within that you were trying to push aside and attack those. That's an interesting experience in itself.
Right, right. I mean, that's a level up in itself, allowing those emotions that were buried deep, the emotions that were locked inside of our body, that we
Yeah,
maybe even forgot, even traumas from childhood, things that we have just buried deep, allowing that to bubble to the surface so it can be released, you
yeah,
know, to
facts, facts.
release that. Like, that's a healing.
Hmm.
That's a healing right there. So, man, you know,
But
imagine what how much, is locked up inside you, is just trying to get out, you know? And it's like all we have to do is let go.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. Go super legendary Super Saiyan. Go Broly a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I
nah,
haven't
Dragon Ball Z references,
I haven't been caught up on Super.
man.
Is Super still going?
Nah, I think it's done, man. I
Okay.
think it finished like last year, and then they came out with a movie, a Broly movie.
Okay.
That tied into everything, and then I think they just kind of went on hiatus after that.
Nice. And I also saw that you watched The Banker on Apple TV.
That is a good movie. I recommend that to anyone, man. Especially if you're trying to achieve your dreams and people tell you can't do it. Uh,
Mhm.
that's the movie to watch.
Yes, yes. I have to check it out per your recommendation. I'm definitely going to. I mean, I love Anthony Mackie and
Yeah,
Samuel Jackson anyways. Like
yeah.
they're both awesome actors to me. But
I
just the
was
way
kind
that
of Go ahead. I was kind of worried about their chemistry because I never really just seen them together aside from
right,
like in the Marvel movies. But I don't think Nick Fury really interacted with Anthony Mackie's character.
right.
But with this movie, nah, they have great chemistry. They really balanced off each other.
Awesome. And I guess like you say, it's got a positive message for people who
Oh yeah.
believe in their dreams, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
And it shows the downside too. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
it keeps it all the way real.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, I gotta check that out, man. I
Hmm.
like doing little things like that. Like every now and then, I'll jump on if I see something like for Disney Plus, it was The Mandalorian. Like I waited until they got all the episodes, then I jumped in with the free trial, and then I jumped back out.
Oh man, oh man, for the finesse. Oh man.
Oh, bro. But yeah, I'll be doing that with different like subscriptions and stuff. I see something I like, I'll jump in real quick, I'll binge it, and then I'll jump back out. Be like, you almost got me.
Yeah, yeah, man, you better than me. Sometimes I legally stream. I
You
mean, no,
said
I didn't say that. I, I,
some-
I actually, I don't. I legally stream.
oh yeah, yeah. Man, bro. But I'm glad that you're able to keep things lighthearted. I'm glad that you're still smiling, you're still laughing, and just during this time, I'm glad that you're able to look at the bright side, the silver lining, and able to, you know, to use this time wisely. The time, like you say, we took advantage of the time that we took for granted, that was just, day by day. Now we have the opportunity to really cultivate ourselves, to really cherish our friends and family. People are calling their loved ones, for the first time in years. People are calling their loved ones. They're like, yo, is everything okay? How you doing? And we're really just, as while they're saying, the message, the slogan is social distancing, we're coming together in a lot more ways. We're
Yeah,
becoming more
yeah, for
union.
real, man. That's a real thing. You know, when this wasn't going down, man. I'll talk to my family and everything every
Yeah.
so often. But now they call me every day. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
y'all really love my ass. That's crazy. That's wild. You know? But
You really do love me.
yeah, you really do love me, man. Makes a nigga feel good.
Oh, bro. Oh man. As has something funny happened to you lately with all this?
Like what?
Anything like that you've run into or that you've seen? I'll give you an example. Like the other day, I was walking near a Barnes and Noble, and I seen a lady come out of the CVS pharmacy, and
Mm-hmm.
she had her Tesla parked at one of the parking meters. You know, here in California, parking enforcement is like the biggest deal. Like everybody hates the parking enforcement people
Mm-hmm.
because they slap tickets on your car all day long. So and there's no mercy. So she came out of the CVS with her stuff, and she went and she saw her Tesla, and the guy was writing the ticket. He was putting it on the window. She was like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? It's a crisis. What are you like?" And she started yelling at him, cussing at him, and like everybody in the street just stopped, and we all just looked at him. Like,
Dang.
she was yelling at them. She let him have it, bro. And I was like, man, he's just doing his job, you
Yeah,
know.
man, that
Like,
was probably his most high profile whip that he done ticketed, man. You know, he might have got an extra bonus for that or something, man. He out there giving him a hard time. That's not fair. You gotta think. You gotta think about it from both sides, man.
yeah, there's two sides of every coin, you know.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh man, but anything like that? Have you seen anything like that where you just looked at it just from the outs? Because it's hard to see the whole picture when we're stuck inside the frame, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But what from the outside perspective, have you seen something that made you laugh?
Nah, not nothing wild just yet, man. People are acting crazy. Like,
Mhm.
man, I've never seen, so many like old like white women like hoard so much toilet tissue in my life. Like, I'm
It's
talking about
yeah.
when this first started going down, like 5, 6 packs. I'm like, dang, man, like, I want this shit too. Like, but nah, it's nothing like too out of the ordinary.
It's you know, if you're in times like these, it's a great study of human nature, you know, of the way that people react in times of crisis and in times where they feel like their lives are at stake. It's amazing what people will do, you
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I was talking to Tony about this.
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting that, and I'm not trying to neglect any type of social class or anything like that. But you have people that have went through like so much struggle and went through hardships. Black people, for example, and you have people that are privileged that really haven't been through anything or really don't pay attention to what's going on because their lives are just so well put together. I find it interesting that the people that have faced so many hardships, they're the ones that are kind of chilling with this. Like it's like, oh, it's just another day in the neighborhood. You
They're
feel me?
not sweating
Yeah.
it.
But then the people that have had the safety nets, they're panicking, man. That's where all this fear mongering, that's where all this chaos comes from, man.
Mhm.
Like it's interesting to see that.
Yes, yes. Thank you for shedding light on that dynamic because I've seen that as well. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there are people that are like, you know, shoot, like what? You know, are you just what is this your first time? You know,
Mm-hmm.
like,
It's your first go around.
like
Nah, I'm not afraid of Rona. Rona needs to be afraid of me.
right, right.
you
Some
know.
lady, so a lady said that. She said, a virus comes around me, it needs to put its mask on. Like
Nah,
it
for
needs
real,
the mask.
man. You don't know what type of thoughts I be having in my head, man. It can't survive this.
Yo, man. So, man, that's wonderful to me to have that perspective, you know, to
Mm-hmm.
still to just have that mental clarity and that mental strength to know that, you know, it only attacks a weak vessel, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like some, you know what I mean? It's like on that level, if you're not operating in that frequency or that radio station, that you're not tuned into that, you know, it's not going to stream through in that way. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's nothing to fear when but fear itself, you
Mm-hmm.
know, fear itself
Exactly.
can attract all sorts of things to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fear, stress, and worry. You know, worry is like a form of it's like praying for something you don't want. When you're worried, when you put that energy there, you're almost attracting the dis-ease that comes along with it. You
Yeah,
know?
no, that's definitely a real thing, man. That's why with me, like for example, people will be like, "Man, you're so chill, you're so calm." Like,
Yeah.
but if they only knew, man, I have high levels of anxiety, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't necessarily fear too many things, but I
Right.
worry a lot.
Right.
I worry about like how things could play out, and so it's important to stay grounded and
Yeah.
not fear the unknown. Because everything can blow over, man. It's not the end times like people were saying.
Hmm.
Um, there's always a way to push forward. So you don't want to
Yeah.
put fear into your heart because all that's going to do is just, make you stagnant. And then,
Right.
yeah, you know,
I think Bruce Lee said something to the effect of, not being stagnant. Like flowing water never grows stale. Flowing
exactly.
water never becomes stagnant. It's like, so to keep moving, just keep moving, keep
Hmm.
the energy flowing,
Hmm.
and yeah, man, that is so important,
Hmm.
man, man. Yeah, that's so. It's just important to think about things in that way. There
Yeah,
was something else I was about to say, but I forgot. Go ahead.
it's like I said with this thing, it attacks your respiratory system,
Hmm.
and so when you're fearing, when you have anxiety,
Right.
you're tightening your respiratory system, you're tightening your chest already, and so that's all that's doing is just you know already setting you back. So sometimes you just have to let go and just let things play out and see what happens.
Yes. 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 Beautifully said. I couldn't have said it better. I couldn't have said it better, man. Wonderful. You know.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
that's a double whammy right there.
Yeah. It's a double whammy. It's a double-edged sword, definitely, But a lot of times that's the hardest thing for people to do. That we think that we're strong if we hold on to things, but really it takes a lot of strength to let go.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
That's the hardest
To
part, man.
let go, you know, because we never know a lot of times that the things that we're holding on to, the things that we're clutching, could be holding us, or holding us back.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly,
So yeah,
exactly,
there's
exactly, my brother.
have you heard there's a thing like I don't know what tribe used to do this, but some place they used to catch monkeys
Mm,
by they would make a hole in like coconuts or some
mm,
sort of fruit or something. They would put nuts or berries or something in it, and the
mhm,
monkey would ball up its fist, and it
mhm,
would put its like it would no, not ball up its fist. It would put its
mhm,
hand inside of the coconut
mhm,
to grab whatever was inside, and then it would grab it.
mhm,
But when it tried to pull out its hand, it couldn't pull it out. It was trapped, right?
mhm. Oh
And
wow.
so they had it tied to a string, and they would wait for it to try and pull its hand out, and that's why they would catch it,
Mhm.
because subconsciously they knew that the monkey would never let go. You
Oh
know,
wow.
all it needed to do to escape was release its hand, and it would slide straight out, right?
But they
But
kept
it
it.
wanted whatever was inside, so
Yeah.
it never. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's an interesting analogy on life, man.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to approach things different ways, and that
Right.
might be a solution.
Right. Right. So it's like in the act of, you know, needing or having to have what was inside it, it trapped itself,
Hmm.
not knowing that the answer lie and just letting it go.
Letting it go.
Yeah.
Wow, that's I like that one, man. You might have to send that one to me later on.
Of course, brother. Of course. Yeah, man. So life has many lessons like that, man. We can learn so many things from nature, especially right now. There are so many things that we can learn from this. I was talking to Jordan and I was saying, like, for us, for the youth, for the next generation, for everybody before and beyond, there's
Hmm.
gonna be there's gonna be a before COVID era and an after
Yeah,
COVID era. You know,
yeah.
it's like nothing is gonna be the same. But if we are the same people that we were after this is over,
Hmm.
then that's going to be nobody's fault but our own.
Hmm.
If we don't level up, if we don't use this time
To
to our
level up.
benefit. Yeah.
I agree. I agree 100%, man.
Hmm.
This is the time where we should be, sharpening our swords.
Yeah. Samurai. Yeah.
Hmm. You don't want to leave this era right now that we're in with a dull sword, man. This is
Right.
the perfect time to power up. Raise your power level. Work to DBZ again.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, man, man. I love that comparison because it's like, you know, there were always enemies that Goku and the Z fighters faced, right? But there was a time of training before each enemy. They had to go
Mhm.
through some things before they leveled up to face each energy. Like every challenge had its own, nuances. Like he had to raise his power level each and every time.
Yeah, man. Goku when he was facing Nappa and Vegeta can't beat the cell that Goku and Gohan face later down the line.
Right,
So
right.
there's a lot of training in between that. A lot of learning experiences, a lot of enemies, a lot of friends
Yes.
that befriended, man. And so yeah, man, that's just life. You always want to move forward in life, onward and upward. So
hmm I don't know the exact quote, but I think maybe Albert Einstein said something to the effect like, "We can't attack a new problem with the same thought process we had for the last problem," or something like that.
that's
It's
true.
like we can't, yeah, we in order to get somewhere new, you have to think something new,
Hmm.
you know?
That's true. That's true, man. That's like I was saying earlier on when we first started the conversation, like creating. It's like there's times now, like when I have so much, since I have this time to myself, it's like I create and I'm like, dang, I'm finding out new techniques. I'm finding out, new ways to approach different things. That's how you got to do with life as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if not, you're going to stay consistent. And,
Right.
that can work for some people, but you
hmm
always want to, evolve eventually.
hmm Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Evolve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, brother. Man, brother. Thank you so much. Thank
No
you so
problem.
much for sharing your time, your light, your wisdom, your insight. Because
Hmm.
I value your perspective on these things as well. It's just these are very interesting times, and coming from you, someone so creative in your field of doing many different things. You are multifaceted. I just really I find it interesting. How you would view this, and I'm actually it's cool to me that you're just you're chilling, like there's no sweat.
Nah, man. Yeah, man. Because you don't want to be anxious or you don't want to worry about things, man. As long as me, my immediate close ones are good. Most I can do is just send everyone that I can't, have immediate access to, just positivity. And
Yeah,
so I gotta, you know, lead by example.
right.
Um, yeah, man. Because I don't want nobody to panic or anything like that, and I want everyone to stay in a good mind state, a good mind frame, and
hmm
stay healthy because that counts towards your health. Mental health definitely does count towards your physical health.